So let's talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers offense, right? When you look at basketball nowadays, right? They always say everything is about twos and threes, right? Everything is all about twos and threes. When you think about how the game is played, right? I think there are times where we blame the players, but we forget that there are coaching staffs and there are other powers at play, right? So let's take a look at what Dwight Howard had to say about this. I wanted to bring this up.
And I'm so frustrated at the fact that teams are making me play with my hands tied behind my back. They only want you to rebound. Don't look at the basket. If you get the rebound, throw it out.
I remember one game, it was like, all right, I'm going to have Trey play 2-3 games, then I'm going to have you from the next 2-3 games. But when we got to that game, he told me right before the game that you're not going to play. I'm like, man, why am I even here? So then, during the game, DeAndre gets mad at the coach and cusses him out. And the coach looked down and bitch, Dwight, let's go. All right. So I come in the game, dominate, we win the game. And he didn't play me the next game. I remember the first day, catch on the break, come down, cross somebody up, throw a no-look pass. Dwight, we don't want you dribbling the ball. So I come down again, pass it, get it back, 3 at the top of the key. Dwight, we don't want you to shoot the ball. I'm like, damn.
There are coaches and general managers and owners that have this type of control and power when it comes to the NBA, right? And I think a lot of viewers look at it and blame the players. Oh, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And, you know, because coming up, we see guys play one way and then they get on these teams and they become role players. And all of a sudden, right, it's something totally different. And so I think it's important to understand that there are things like this that happen which impacts the way bigs in particular play. And that brings me to my next point. There is something that the bigs on the Cleveland Cavaliers do that bigs nowadays do not do. When bigs, oh, actually, it's right here. It's perfect. And this is on the guard and this is on the big, right? But bigs nowadays, right, in a pick and roll situation like this, right?
Incredible.
Right.
Especially now
Jared Allen is coming up. On a pick and roll situations like this, a big is typically gonna get below this hash mark. That's typically when they get the ball. Because the idea is they don't want the bigs to even put the ball on the floor. They just want them to lay it up or dunk it or kick it out. But
against each other.
Something that you'll notice with this Cleveland Cavaliers team, with both Jarrett Allen and Mobley, right? They'll catch the ball at around this area. I think bigs nowadays catch the ball too deep. So when you catch the ball too deep, you get stuck in no man's land, especially if you aren't able to get a shot up. And giving them the ball a little bit earlier gives them the ability to make a decision, right? They're big enough to be able to take off and get a shot right from here. Or you get a lot cleaner kickouts like this.
There's Jared Allen, kicks it out. Wade gets a good look. First points on
the and it's part of the reason why their field goal percentage and 3-point field goal percentage is so high. Because when guys get the ball really deep, they're in the teeth of the defense. They have to kick the ball out through contact. And you get these guys who, I mean, they do it 2 times in a row right here, right? Their goal is to allow their bigs to be in a spot to make plays, not just their guards, right? So we see Jared Allen right there. He's catching at the free throw line. And what you see with the Cleveland Cavaliers is when you switch Allen for Mobley, Mobley can hit that shot. Mobley he could pop out. He could flare out. It gives a lot, even more freedom. In the game today that we were just talking about freedom, right, Elijah? It gives even more freedom to these players. Jared Allen previously, and this is also a testament to him, right? He was never known as a playmaker. Those are two great passes that he made. And a part of it is the team is putting them in the position. And look at this. Look at this. And look at the little adjustments. And this is why I love watching games from start to finish, y'all. Jared Allen was catching the ball at the free throw line, right? Caught the defense coming up. He's able to make a play, right? One's a kick out to the left corner. The other one is an alley-oop. When he gets a catch below that hash line, what is it? It's a dunk. And why? Because Jalen Williams, the other Jalen Williams now, you have to play him. You have to play him for that now, right? Because if he gets here, he's making a play. You see Shea is already trying to slide on over, but gets right behind him. It's a split-second read. Not only are these Cleveland Cavaliers so extremely well coached, you could tell that the players are reading and they're understanding why they're making the reads that they're making. That's why their offense is so good. The next play, Jared Allen he just digs in and seals, I think, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Drop step to a dunk. And the other part in it was this, right? And this is coaching, right? And this is what I'm here to talk about. This is what I geek over, right? 7:25 in the first quarter. Boop, boop. There's a dead ball. And there's a substitution at the 7:25 mark. I'm like, who the fuck is coming in at 7:25? Donovan Mitchell goes to sit down. And what is it? Evan Mobley, right? I hope I'm not fucking up his name. Yeah. Jared Allen. So Evan Mobley and Mitchell sit down at the 7:25 mark. Right? This is really important. At the 7:25 mark, they sit down.
Max Strus and Karis LeVert are the first two Cavaliers substitutions. They check in for Mobley and Mitchell. This has been the usual substitution pattern for Kenny Atkinson this season. Yeah.
And so that leaves the duo of Darius Garland and Jared Allen to kind of run the show. Their two-man action, right? And I was sitting there, like, genuinely trying to figure out why. Trying to understand why you would take him out, why you would take those two players out so early, right? Most of the time, especially in the first quarter, coaches will leave the player in till like the 4 minute mark usually, right? Sometimes they'll play them the whole first quarter. But guess what they did at the 4 minute mark? Another timeout or a dead ball. Garland and Jared Allen go and sit. And guess who comes in? Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley.
Last 2 seasons after being waived by the Sixers back in 2022. Joe's about the only player on this team, Brad, who will hunt threes. Most of the other Thunder perimeter players will look for the three to set up the drive, which this team loves to do.
Yeah, he's very aggressive getting after shooting that basketball.
And I was like, oh, I get it. I was like, I get it, y'all. I get it, and I'm here to tell y'all what it is. From my POV, right? This is what I think it is. One, their coach understands that there's only one basketball. Fully understands that, right? There is only one basketball. So all 4 guys are great, but only one out of the 4 can have the ball in their hands at a time. So the reason Kenny Atkinson takes out Mitchell and Mobley and leaves Garland and Allen in at the 7:25 is why. Darius Garland is more of a finesse kind of player, right? He's the point guard. He's shifty. He's going to get in the lane and shoot his floaters. He's going to shoot his jump shots, right? He's more of a finesse type of player, which is totally fine. He's unbelievable too, by the way, right? And then you combo him with a Jared Allen who lives in the paint. Anytime he catches the ball, he's going towards the rim. Like we've pointed out, it's not always to shoot, but his whole objective every time he catches the ball is to go towards the rim and make a play. So 7:25, right? So I think Kenny Atkinson is banking on maybe Jared Allen could pick up some of the personal fouls along the way, right? Early on in the quarter. And then boom, at the 3:30 mark or whatever it was, Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley come in. And it makes sense. And this is some old school basketball tactic, right? You swap the guards to a guard that's very aggressive going towards the rim. Donovan Mitchell can draw fouls going to the rim. He's a very physical guard. And then you combo him with a big that is also a combo big, right? Evan Mobley, his growth has been, he's been a more physical big. He's taking contact towards the rim, finishing at the rim, using his spin move, all of those things, right? But to prevent him from clogging up the lane because you have a Donovan Mitchell who's in attack mode to end the quarter, you pair him up with an Evan Mobley that can hit jumpers. It's so simple, but it is so fucking smart for Kenny Atkinson to think about the game the way that he does.